Coming up on today's episode, it's our first bud oil-free episode, and we're kicking it off with restaurant-style Mexican rice. And don't let the name of the channel fool you. Plant-Based Dads is open to everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We are a whole foods, vegan cooking channel. We do some product reviews. Sometimes it's some DIY because I like to do things myself. Occasionally we have some episodes with Tim. If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button. Show us some love. And please think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads family. I'd like to invite you to be one of our Plant-Based Dads Patreon members. Patreon members are able to give us a monthly support that allows us to continue to produce the show and bring our material to you. If you're interested in helping us out and becoming a Patreon member for Plant-Based Dads, there's a link below. You can click on that and that'll take you to our Patreon page. Patreon members do get access to our videos before they actually come out on YouTube. If you've been following the show recently, then you know that I'm doing the Starch Solution. The Starch Solution is a way of eating made popular by Dr. John McDougall, where you eat high carb, low fat, and it helps you to get back on track and lose weight. It's worked for me. I'm now down 35 pounds, which is hard to believe. If you're on the Starch Solution with me, because I'm really bad at doing things by myself, so I need people to help me with it. If we're doing this together, then the best place to get support is our Facebook group, Plant-Based Dads, Starch Solution Enthusiasts. This picture right here. It's just thousands of people, like over 6,000 people now. There's so many, all sharing our stories, posting photos of what we're eating, giving each other ideas, cheering each other on, and we have challenges in the group every month. Our next challenge starts on April 5th. It's the first Monday of every month. I believe that's the 5th. And that challenge is a 21-day, 50-50 plate challenge. You know, if you're doing that, it's a great place to get support for that, especially if you don't have support at home. There's 6,000 people who are doing the same thing that you do, and I'm going to be like, yeah, you got this, you can do it. So check that out. Facebook group, Plant-Based Dads, Starch Solution Enthusiasts, plenty of place for support if you're doing the Starch Solution. Another thing I wanted to mention is I'm really infatuated with these HydroJugs lately. This is really cold because it was in the refrigerator. The HydroJugs are amazing. It's a big, hard plastic jug, and it's got a really nice secure top, and when you're ready and you're thirsty and you're hiking and you're working out or whatever, there's a huge handle on it. It's impossible to mess it up. And they come in all sorts of great colors. I love that you open it up and there's this big mouth for drinking water out of. This one here has a straw in it. I don't have anything in this one, but this one's got a straw that comes with it. And they come with these wraps, right? So you can put it around you if you're hiking or whatever. This one's kind of a masculine, all black one. And then for the ladies, there's this really cool, little green and pink little camo one. And these are sold separately from the jug, so you can mix and match them to, whatever color you want. I just bought these two, thought they would be really cool. I'm gonna put a link below for HydroJug. They got some specials going on right now. A lot of them, when you look at them, are sold out, but some of the ones that are left, there's some 50% off, or they've got some free shipping if you spend over a certain amount of money. I think right now it's $45. Check them out. I absolutely love HydroJug. I use this for when I'm working during the day too. I've been substitute teaching this week, and I just bring this with me, and I've got my water for the day, and I absolutely love it. One other thing I wanted to mention is people often ask me what supplements I'm taking. So I'm going to go over them really briefly right here. I do not do supplements normally. I take the 3 that I take, but we have a whole drawer full of supplements. Tim's always buying supplements, and I feel like that's a scam, that whole thing. Here's what I do take. I take vegan omega-3 here, and I take this brand right here, and I'll put a link to it below. I think we get it on Amazon. So I take this every other day. And then I take vitamin D and K together in a combination. Vitamin D because I go out in the sun every day and I walk and I run or whatever, and I get plenty of sunlight, but I still take it because I think people overall are deficient in vitamin D, especially in warm weather climates. We just don't go outside as much because it's warm. And then vitamin K is something that you really need. I've been reading a lot on it, and I just don't want to be deficient in it. I haven't been deficient in it before, but I've kind of just gotten into this vitamin K thing. So that's what I'm taking. It's a vitamin D and K supplement. It's a vegan one, and I'll put a link below. And then I always take my vitamin B12. All of these vitamins are vegan, by the way. This is a chewable. I take this every day. You probably just need to take it like once every few days. Like, these are probably really overdone. But I mean, vitamin B is not found in plants, so this I do take every day. So this every day, the other one's like every other day. You know, I try and take them every day, but a lot of times I forget and it's every other day. And you know, that's what I'm taking for vitamins. Vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin B12, and the omega-3s. All right, so today's video is really cool because one of my favorite places to eat out, but I can't do it a lot because it's not oil-free, is Chili's. Chili's has amazing vegetable fajitas, but the star of the show for me is the rice. The Mexican rice that they have at Chili's is vegan. I'm sure it's made with oil, I have no doubt, but I absolutely love that rice. Well, I've made my own version of that rice here at home. Not only is it vegan, but it's oil-free. And this starts our first episode of But Oil-Free. I'm gonna start making some of my favorite restaurant dishes, but I'm gonna make them oil-free. So today's dish, restaurant-style Mexican rice, just like Chili's, that you can make at home and oil-free. I spent a lot of time putting this together. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of my new favorite dishes, and it works perfectly on the Mary's Mini because it's a rice dish. All right, I can't wait to show you how I did this. Let's get to the food. We're starting with a small blender. In the blender, we're adding about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, half of a small yellow onion, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of tomato paste, and 1/2 a cup or 400 grams of filtered water. Next, I'm going to put the top back on the decanter and get it ready to blend. I'm just going to blend this up here until it's smooth. I blended it for about 30 seconds on this Vitamix dressing attachment. Your blender time might vary. You just want it to be nice and smooth. Next, I took a non-stick skillet and put it on low to medium heat and let it heat up for a few minutes. Then I added 2 cups or 400 grams of long grain white rice. I did rinse this rice and let it dry first. As the rice started to heat up, I just kept shaking it around or moving it around with a spatula, and I just kept moving it because I didn't want it to stick. This took some time, but I'm trying to get the rice to be more of a yellow toasted color. You'll see what I mean. If you just keep moving it and just keep shaking it on a low to medium heat, it should take about 4 or 5 minutes. And I'm just kind of moving it constantly so it doesn't stick to the pan because I'm not using oil in this. While that's happening, I took a sauce pot, turned the heat to low, and dumped in my blended tomato paste puree. I want to get this hot because I'm going to add the rice to it as soon as the rice is ready, and I want this to be hot already. So heat this up slowly on low. You really can't tell from the light in here, but the rice did start turning yellow and it absolutely smelled like it was toasted. So it was time to throw it into the sauce. You have to time this right, but you want your sauce to start simmering just as you're about to throw in the very hot rice. And you can see here I'm tossing this in and you can hear it all sizzling together. Everything is hot in this. And you can see it starting to smoke with the hot rice hitting the hot sauce. I'm going to mix that up for about 45 seconds and get it all combined. Then I'm going to add in 3 cups or 600 grams of filtered water. Now I threw some of my water into that container I used to puree the tomato paste, just so I can get some of the last bits of that out of the container. And then the rest of it was still in the measuring cup, I just dumped that in. But the total is 3 cups or 600 grams. Next I'm throwing in 1 bouillon cube from this Not Chicken bouillon. It's just a vegan chicken bouillon cube for soups and sauces. This one was the best one I could find with the least amount of ingredients, and it didn't have any oil in it, so this is the one I used. Then I kind of mix that all together just to get it all combined. I want to make sure those pieces of bouillon get all combined. And then I turn the heat up to bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, use your spatula and give it a good stir, making sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom. Rub the bottom real good to make sure it's all free flowing. Then I'm going to put on a tight fitting cover. This is a cast iron sauce pot with a cast iron cover. And I'm going to turn the heat down to the lowest setting on that dial. Here you can see it's on low. And I'm going to let it cook for 20 minutes. Don't check it during cooking. You don't want to remove the cover. After 20 minutes, I'm turning the heat off and I'm going to take the cover off the pot. This releases the excess steam, plus it gives you an opportunity to take your fork and start moving it around and combining everything and making sure the water was absorbed. There should be no water left at this point. the rice should have absorbed it all, and it should look and smell like Mexican rice. I'm gonna give it a really nice mix here, make sure everything's all combined, and then I'm gonna put the cover back on and let it sit for 10 more minutes. And I'm not gonna take the cover off or touch it. I'm just gonna let it sit for 10 more minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, I'm gonna take the cover off, grab a fork, and start fluffing this rice up. You can see here it's hot and steamy, it's absorbed all the water, it's fluffy. This rice is ready to eat. Time to figure out some storage. I grabbed a glass container and just started spooning the stuff into a container so I can have it for the week. It very quickly filled this container and I realized I just didn't have enough room. Here you can see I filled 2 containers up. I'm gonna use this all week. It's perfect for Mary's Mini and it works great on the Starch Solution. Now it's time to plate up. I've got my little Mexican bowl here. I just love this thing. And I'm gonna add in a bunch of my hot Mexican rice. I'm gonna throw in some pieces of lime for garnish. And 3 little pieces of cilantro. So pretty. Next, I'm sprinkling on some crushed red pepper just for some contrast for the Instagram photo. And then I'm gonna top it with a little bit of pepper, again, just for some contrast. And there you have it. An absolutely beautiful, authentic looking bowl of restaurant style Mexican rice. Let's give it a taste. The trick really is to getting that rice a little cooked and toasted. I know it's really hard to see in that video because of the lighting, but you will be able to see. It starts browning, it starts turning a golden brown, and it has this scent to it that smells like nutty, toasted rice. I don't know really how else to explain it. You can do the whole thing without doing that, but to me that gives it that extra bit of flavor. So I'm gonna give this a taste right here. I've eaten so much of this in the last week because I've been doing the Mary's Mini, and I absolutely love this. So good. Now, the rice is just a side dish, right, when I get it at Chili's. I love it because I love to put it in my fajitas and roll it up with the vegetables. It kind of gives it some substance, right? So to me, it's a big part of my fajitas. When Tim eats this, he thinks it's plain because it doesn't have any peppers in it. It doesn't have any, tomatoes and all that. You can add all that stuff. Make it your own. Make it however you want. This is the way I like it, just the way it comes at Chili's. But add in some hatch chilies, add in some jalapenos, add in whatever you think that really make it your own. But this is a great base recipe. All right, so there you have it. Restaurant style Mexican rice, but oil free. If you got something out of this video, please hit that like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, become part of the Plant-Based Dads family, and you'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday. Unless you're a Patreon member, you'll get it early, a day early. And please leave a comment below. Do you like the rice at Chili's? Did you know it was vegan? Someone told me in a comment like a year ago because I used to not eat it because I thought it was made with chicken stock, and it's not. But it's definitely full of oil, and this is a really great version of it. All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.